Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's your girl
Welcome
G.
back. It's your boy Ray.
And welcome back to the review hour. So today we are here to discuss the Challenge All-Stars episode 4. So let's just get right into it. This episode, this is pretty good. I think it was better than last week's actually.
It was pretty good. I don't like the editing they do in this season, or at least with this show. But we'll see, because I don't know. It's just giving me real vibes.
What is that?
It's just like I feel like it's a lot of filler in there.
Yeah.
Like it's the pacing, something about the pacing just seemed off.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute we're in nominations, the next minute we like already at the elimination.
Yeah. They do kind of move quick, and yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so we are, as soon as the episode starts, we are coming back from Nehemiah's elimination win against Tech. And everybody's congratulating him. Him and Jimmy are talking. And then we quickly switch over to Beth having a moment with Cyrus. And Beth's missing her family. All these people currently, have like family, jobs, wife, kids, husbands, all that. So she is missing her husband and her kids. At that time, Cyrus is trying to just tell her, you can't quit, you gotta keep going. And she has a pretty good, I think, alliance within that house. Like, she has Cyrus, she has Jimmy, and I think she has other people. Beth has made like solid alliance people just from being there and just from knowing them throughout the years.
Yeah, and I think Cyrus made a good point where he was like, as they see you checking out, that's blood. That's like a shark smelling blood. So yeah, it was good that she has someone who can kind of like snap her back into the game. And I'm also tired of that narrative too. But I guess it makes sense because they haven't been playing this type of game. They haven't been away from their family for like 10 plus years. So yeah, they'll be missing that like extra that component to them. But at the same time, I'm tired of everybody like.
But like back in the day, like they were all young people. They don't have.
Like I said, I get it. I understand you want to be with your kids and whatnot, but
yeah, they didn't have nothing back
then. When y'all signed those papers, it was like we're going to be gone for this amount of time.
Yeah.
So like you gotta miss them, but yeah,
I get it. So I get both. I understand wanting to see a family, but also we're here for some money so you can bring it back to your family. So like, let's do this, Beth. And I like her, so I don't want her to go nowhere. So after Beth and Cyrus has like their conversation, and we find out Cyrus, is really good friends with her. He knows her family, everything like that. We switch to this scene of Arissa in the backyard. We find out she is a cannabis chef. Is that what she said? A cannabis chef.
Which made sense, because once I heard that, it was like she's high all the time.
And I get what was that Derek or was that Alton who said Arissa has changed? And she really has. I remember Arissa in real world, and she back in the day, and she is totally different. 20 years will do that. It'll change you, but totally separate person. And like, she's very much a kind of loner within the house. Even the people that were her friends, they don't seem to be just like chilling with her. So so she's back there, and she's saying how she is, here to put her stake in the game. And I was just like, if you are here for that, she doesn't seem to have even started playing for that to be something you came here to prove. So if you came to prove something, and she hasn't really been going about it like that. So then after we move on from Arissa, we see Katie talking to Derek. They're close. We've seen a couple scenes this season with Katie and Derek in it. And Katie is telling Derek, people underestimate her, and she's really been trying to work out, and she is ready for this season. But don't tell nobody that she's working out, because she want to still be considered a layup, so that when it's time to perform, she can do it, and it'll be like kind of like a surprise to everybody. So, Derek is kind of like, don't sleep on Katie. But Katie does tell him, any water challenges, they're not my thing. I'm not good at it. Over the years, the water hasn't been good to me. She has hit her face several times. So she lets that be known. That is not where she will excel at.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, because I feel like that whole layup thing, like, if you like a sleeper agent, keep that stuff to your cards.
Eventually you're going to get out.
You can only win so many eliminations, and definitely when you don't know what it is too.
Yeah, exactly, because all of these eliminations seem to be new.
Yeah, so you might have that one elimination where you was being the layup, lost a challenge or something, and then next thing you know, you're on that first flight back home.
Exactly, I agree. Yeah, I wouldn't really.
With that.
Yeah, I think being considered a layup is not the best strategy. I think if you consider like the middle of the pack mediocre, that might be a better strategy and then turn out to be amazing because then nobody necessarily wants to go against you, but you're not the bottom that I want to pick from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll see how that strategy goes for Katie. So then we pull up to the daily challenge this week, which is called On the Ropes. So the way that this challenge works is that they have they're gonna split up into 4 teams. TJ tells them, and they'll go in 2 different heats. So the first 2 teams go against each other. Second 2 teams go against each other. So the times of the winners of the 2 heats, those times will be compared, and whoever has the fastest times with the most ropes pulled will be the winners. So every time you go across the rope, I mean, you come back, you get to pull a rope out from under your opponent, and you get to decide which rope you want to drop, and then hopefully it makes them fall, and that's how you win your heat. So we get started with this entire matchup, and they have to choose the team captains. And Kendall and Yesella have to decide between themselves. And Yesella says she cannot trust Kendall to like work for it, so she doesn't want to volunteer herself because if they lose, then Yesella will be up. I just think it's kind of unfair to judge Kendall off that first challenge. She's acting like every challenge Kendall doesn't put in her all. That happened in one challenge, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just I understand speaking your mind and everything, but I feel like everything like that's something I don't know. I just feel like that would bring down Kendall's confidence, or like like she's the type of person. Because I want to say Kendall's got like a hard shell, but at the same time, I feel like when somebody say, "Oh, I can't trust you," then you're about to go into this challenge. It's like, shoot, if she not gonna think gonna put in the work, I might as well not put in the work.
Yeah,
Or
I don't think she said
figure
it.
this show out like Ruthie did. All
Yeah.
people think I'm.
Yeah, I don't think she said it to Kendall though. It seemed like she said it in the confessional. So I don't know if she said it.
But she said it to all of them too.
Oh, did she? Okay, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know she said it in
I
front of them.
think
I
she
thought
said it
that
in
was
the group why she wasn't going to be captain because I think she said
okay.
it to the whole group.
Okay. I didn't know they had talked about it in person. I thought that was a confessional. So Kendall ends up being the captain of that team.
So the black team consisted of Darrell, Casella, Kellyanne, Kendall, and Latarian, with Kendall and Latarian being the male and female captains. The copper team was Alton and Rissa, Big Easy, Janae, and Katie, with Janae and Big Easy being captains. Gold team was Anissa, Derek, Mark, Ruthie, and Yes, with Mark and Ruthie being captains. And then the silver team was Beth, Darrell again, because the silver team was short. Jimmy, Nehemiah, and Cyrus, with Nehemiah and Beth being team captains.
Okay. So once this challenge gets started, I really think this was a fun challenge watching everybody go. You could tell kind of how this was going to go. I mean, the people that had the really strong guys, I knew they were going to be the ones that excel. Like the people that had Alton, Nehemiah, Mark, like those were obviously going to be the teams that did great in this challenge. It was I think it was a predictable kind of winner. So like the way the challenge is set up, were they able to pull the hand ropes off?
No,
Because
well,
they
I think
only pulled
they could pull any rope they chose, but I
okay.
think because it was smarter to just choose the bottoms because that's the one they're standing on. And nine
I
times out of
thought it would have
10,
been smarter to put if you lose your hand thing, it's over. Like what do
yeah,
you
but yeah, it depends because like I think they were just like nobody got the upper body strength to like really hold on, so they
yeah.
just go for the rope they standing on. And half the time they was already like bending or leaning over, or in
Yeah.
case of like Big Easy and Janae sitting down on the rope. So it's just
Yeah.
easy pickings just to whoop.
Yeah. So Alton's team, Alton gets paired with like Katie and Arissa, and it is Katie's time to go. Alton did really well on his turn, and then it was Katie's time to go across the ropes. And Katie, this is over water, and Katie seems to be like the shortest girl there, and so it was hard for her to even reach between the top rope and the rope that your feet are supposed to be on. And she cannot do it. She says she can't do it, and Alton just tells her to jump. And so that's what she does. Katie jumps and she is out. And so now the only people that are left on his team are Arissa. It's Arissa and him and Alton. And so Arissa goes and did she make it halfway through?
Yeah, she made it halfway, and then
Darrell pulled it. Darrell pulled it. She went against Darrell. She didn't really have a chance, and he pulled it. But I do, with these people being older, they are seem to be nice. And he was like, "You okay? Like, you okay for me to pull it? You got your bearings because I'm about to pull it, you know." And so then he pulled it because he didn't want to surprise it. Current challenge. Fessy would have pulled it.
No question, no warning, no nothing. Just
Darrell wanted to make sure she braced herself. They wouldn't have done that currently.
Yeah.
So then Alton is the only one left, and he's going across and holding it down for his whole team. And Yesella, she's like, Alton, that's really attractive. He handling business, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking that, they were trying to set up a kind of showman thing, but then I was thinking, didn't Kellyanne say he was married?
I guess maybe he divorced. Maybe he listed it all for that showman.
I swear they said he was married with kids. Alton goes, but he doesn't really have a chance after that because all of his ropes are going except for like one at the top, I think, and one at the bottom, and they pull that quick. So his whole team is out. So mostly, I mean, just to kind of go through everybody, mostly, which were the final two teams that were left?
It was the Go team and then the Black team, I want to say.
So yeah, so after everybody was eliminated, they compared the times of the final two teams, and and then they determined that Mark's team won. Mark is the head captain of that, and Ruthie. So Ruthie is safe from the elimination. It is a girls' elimination this week, and Mark is the owner of the lifesaver. For the losing team, the team that got out first and worst time was Beth's team. So Beth is immediately going in. And so I was really worried about that because I really like Beth, but her team is going in. So that's where we are once the challenge in. And before they even went to the challenge, Mark said, he want to shake up the game because we still haven't seen what happens with the lifesaver. So we already kind of had a feeling that Mark would possibly use the lifesaver later on in the episode.
Yeah, I feel like from that point, once he said that, I feel like everything else from that point to the end was produced. Like everything set up, it was just a chain of events. All of it was produced. Definitely after that, like once nominations hit, definitely got produced. And somebody was in that editing room was like, okay, this is what really gonna happen. This is what I need y'all to do. Like, yeah.
So, like I said, Mark gets the lifesaver. And so after that, we are back at the house, and Beth's team is talking to her about like who you want, because then they'll try to fight for them in the elimination. I'm sorry, in the deliberation. So Beth tells Jimmy and Cyrus that she would like either Kendall or Katie or Arissa. And they're like, not, you don't want Kendall really, because Kendall is like really in shape. She seems to work out, and she does pretty well besides the 1 week that she messed up, which is why I can't understand Yusella's comments, because she messed up that one time, but whatever. So Jimmy's like, you don't want Kendall, you will lose if you go against Kendall. So, but they'll try to fight for like maybe Arissa or Katie. But when they go to the deliberation, immediately Katie says, I jumped off, I'm a volunteer myself. What did you think about that?
These sacrificial lambs, I'm tired of them. But I feel like I said, it started to get produced from here. Katie knew Mark wasn't gonna let her go in, so she was like, I'm good. And then like they even said in like the confessionals, like, now y'all know Katie's not about to go in. Mark got that lifesaver. We know he's gonna use it. So what was even the point of voting yourself in? And Jimmy is just confessional queen at this point, because we're here because Jimmy is saying exactly what I need her to say.
Janae says though, like if I was Katie, like even if you thought you were the weakest, you have like such a good like group of people. Katie knows a lot of people, so Janae is like, why would you vote yourself in? You have the numbers. But she's like, better you than me, girl, because Janae didn't do that well in the challenge either. So she's like, you go as long as it ain't me. So later that night, they're out. I don't know if they're like at a bar. They rented out, like the production rented out. I'm not sure, but
I
they're
think they
out.
did the same thing that they did for Double Agents, where they created a little party area for them
Lounge
to be.
area. Yeah, probably that. So they out drinking and just, chilling as they do before the elimination. And Mark is holding court. Okay. He is the godfather and he has Derek being his little like summoning admiral. I don't know. And he is like, gathering people to like tell me why I should use lifesaver, and if I can use lifesaver, and if I can choose the person that is replacing that person, why it shouldn't be you, basically. And so Jimmy is like, you do me a favor, I do you a favor. And he makes these promises. He tells Jimmy, Kendall, Kellyanne,
every girl.
he's like, I'm not gonna throw you in. I'm not gonna throw you in. I'm not gonna throw you in. So he tells them that he's not gonna throw you in. And while he didn't talk to Arissa, we hear him say, like, I've known Arissa. She has changed a little bit, but Arissa's still my girl, and I don't really want to see her go in. And so at this time, even though I told Kellyanne I will not throw her in, I think if I have a choice, I would throw Kendall. Yeah, he says he will throw Kendall in if he had a choice, just because he doesn't know where she stands and she aggravates him. That's what she said. That's what he said.
I feel like at this point, I think Jimmy said it too. It's like she knows that you can't trust nobody at the challenge house. Definitely, as she said, somebody calling themselves the Godfather. But I don't understand why people would even assume or think that they wouldn't get thrown in if somebody tell them, "Oh, throw me a bone, I'll throw you a bone." Because then it's like, he's gonna have to say somebody's name, and then it's like, I don't know why people just don't talk to each other after. Like, so what did he promise? Like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they
did he
all
promise you something? He also told me that too. So if he telling all of us he's not gonna throw us in, he lying to somebody. Hopefully it ain't me.
But yeah, I just don't like when people, like, I get it, play the game, do your politics or whatever, but at the same point, it's like, just don't make promises that you're not gonna. At that point, it's just like, then you're just getting a target on your back by all the female players at that, and then it's a male elimination right next after that. So it's like.
Yeah, I don't know why you make the promises, because if later on down the line, even though I told you I won't throw you in, if it benefits me at that time, I'm sorry, I have to throw you in. Like, I know I said I would, and I'm gonna try not to, but if it's no option, you gotta go in.
Mark had a conversation with Arissa.
Oh yeah.
The whole same situation that he gave all the other females. The whole should I use the lifesaver, and if I do or don't, you'll be safe, or I won't say your name type of deal. And that I really appreciate you being in the house. You're one of my closest friends or whatever. And then, she's like, okay, cool, thank you, love you, bye. And they go about their day.
Yeah, he did tell her that.
Is when things get real.
Yeah. So we come to the elimination. TJ calls down Beth because she automatically goes in. And then he calls down Katie because she was ultimately voted in at deliberation. So these are our two contenders for elimination. And then lastly, he asks Mark, do you want to use your lifesaver on Katie? And Mark says that, we all want to see what happens with the lifesaver, and Katie's my good friend. So I'm going to use it to save Katie. She's not going down. And so Katie is saved, and she is told to come back up to the stands. So then we find out that once somebody uses the lifesaver, everyone has to vote, and whoever gets the most votes, that is the person that will be sent down. Mark thought he would be the one to make the ultimate decision on who would be replacing Katie, but it turns out it was not that way. They're each going to go one by one and out loud tell who they want to vote for.
And this is what I'm here for. Like Jamie said, let me see where you at. Let me see where you stand.
Yeah.
Who name are you gonna say? Who name are you gonna steer away from? Let me hear your reasonings. But yeah, this the type of eliminations that I like, I need
Yeah.
people to say somebody's name. Like, this is what
Yeah, they all walking on eggshells, not wanting to say nothing.
yeah, this is what y'all should be doing in deliberation. Say these people names. Like, stop having these people vote themselves in, be these sacrificial lambs and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
say their name.
Yeah, exactly. So Darrell is first and he's like stalling, looking crazy. He like, oh man, TJ. But they kind of like, Beth, who do you want? And I think that's such a kind of cop out because like
Yeah.
I'd have been like, if I thought they might say my name, I'd be like, nobody cares who Beth wants. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Who you want, Darrell? Say the name. So, but Beth speaks up before Darrell can say anything else, and Beth says, maybe Arissa. So that gives him an out, and he's like, oh, okay.
It gave everybody an out because they was quick to. Well, you still had and then who was it that threw I think Big Easy threw the first vote on Kendall threw the vote on Anissa.
No. It happened. Anissa did it first. So yeah. It was Darrell said, Darrell said Anissa. I'm sorry, Darrell said Arissa. Then Jimmy said Arissa, and like two more people said Arissa. Then it got to what am I trying to say? Anissa. And Anissa says, she says like Anissa, Arissa's my girl or something like that. And she's like, so I'm gonna say Kendall because she said Beth was on a different team. So I like Beth, but I'm not giving her what she wants. I'm gonna go for Kendall. And Kendall's like, okay, well, because she said my name, I'm gonna say Anissa. And Yesella, I just don't like people when you don't like somebody. Just don't make up excuses. You know what I mean? She don't like Kendall, so don't be like the reason I'm saying you is because you came from my sis. No, you don't. You saying it because you don't like her, and she didn't come for
it. Hostility for me. It was
you said what?
It was a hostility for me.
Yeah, and I like Gisela, but wait,
like this is the wrong place to be doing that.
But it was so random.
Why? One, you just burned the vote, and then it was just like, why? Because we saw like Leroy when they was burning votes and they thought it was cute, and then it was like, well, so it could easily been turned to Anissa, and then but
she's like, oh, I ain't gonna have nobody coming at my girl like that. She didn't come at her like nothing. she said my name.
She said her.
Yeah, she said my name, so I said it back. So I was like, you just don't like her. So it's fine. It's fine. But don't act like that's the reason. So so Yesella then says Kendall, but then after those like 2-3 votes on Kendall, everybody else is Arissa. So Arissa is now the replacement for Katie, and TJ calls Arissa down to the arena. So he explains the name of the game. It is called Wall Ball, I think. It's called Wall Ball. TJ explains the name of the game that Arissa and Beth will be playing. He tells them it's like 2 giant walls, and they each have like 4 balls, and they're supposed to throw the balls over the wall, then punch through the walls, and they keep doing that until they make it to the other side of the wall. And so when Arissa is originally coming down, though, Arissa was upset, and she got moved in. Huh?
I said she was pissed and impressed.
Yeah, she was upset. So as she's walking down to the arena to get in formation with Beth, she's like, can I box her? And TJ's like, no, you can't box her. He's like, no, you can't. And she's like, look at, she's upset. She's mad that everybody voted her in. So before they can, before TJ, after he explains the rules, before they can call like a start to the game and like blow the horn for them to get ready and to start, Arissa's like, I need to say something, TJ. And she basically cusses everybody out. She's like, you mother. She's like, F you. F y'all a whole bunch of snakes, y'all da 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 da, and she goes off on everybody, and she's like, and even if she said, when I would have won this game, I would not have been able to get back into the house with these snakes. I would not have been able to get back into the house with them. So she's like, so therefore I quit, and she walks off. And TJ's like, what? He's like, okay, See you never. He blows the horn and he announces Beth the winner. And that's without Beth having to even do anything. And I don't even understand. I mean, I understand being mad that you got voted in because I'm sure nobody wants to be voted in, but somebody has to be voted in. So I don't really understand who exactly she's mad at. Who are you blaming? I'm confused because somebody has to go in. And if it would have been somebody else, would you have been just as mad on their behalf? So I'm a little confused about her anger.
I guess. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. She felt blindsided. Definitely when Mark said he was going to protect
but
her.
He didn't even vote her in. Yeah. He had no choice in the matter.
But still, it's just like, where you're not expected to go down there, and then it's like, yeah, she definitely could have handled that better.
You're not expecting to go down, but nobody was expecting to go down. So if anybody went down, it was a surprise. So why does your surprise, you being blindsided, negate somebody else being blindsided? I don't understand it. Like, you got to do it. And if you thought you was big bad and was going to win, then you should have just did it. Like, what?
How about sister? I can't box her. I can't do this.
Yeah, she said, if I can't box her, I don't want to do this. Because if I win, I can't be in the house with them. So so Arissa quits and she walks off and Beth is the winner. She goes back into the stands. Everybody's like, well, Jimmy and a couple other people try to start like a confused slow clap for Arissa. And we was just like, okay. And once Beth gets back in the stand, she's happy. She's as well as like, if you really want to prove this, you should have just, tried. You should have tried to do it. And, we would have gone from there. But she's also happy that she is declared the winner. And so, that's how the episode ended, with Arissa quitting and Beth is the winner of this elimination.
Yeah, this episode, again, I mean, with minus the few pacing issues, it was a pretty good episode overall. Like I said, I don't know what happened to Arissa this episode, but she was not a happy camper, and from the confessionals until this ending, she was just. But I guess I don't know. They were setting something up for her anyway. Go like this last couple of episodes, she didn't want to vote nobody in. She's being this loner. She was getting all this non-essential screen time, but screen time. So it was like I knew something was coming, but this definitely wasn't expecting. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. So that is the way the episode ended. We got a little teaser for next week of the challenge, and we see what's her name? Yesella and Alton in the dark talking. I don't know. And she's like, she's like Alton. And again, isn't Alton married? I could have sworn they said he was married. And this is totally different from like years ago with them playing, doing whatever they was doing on challenge in 2005, because these people are married with kids. This is real life adultery out here. So I'm about to look it up. I could have sworn Kellyanne said he was married, but I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, so that was our review for this week, guys. This episode, I really enjoyed that. I think it was fun. I think the challenge was fun. It was different, besides like trivia or something like that. And I would have liked to see this elimination. So hopefully they reuse this elimination next week.
It looks like they did. It looks like they're gonna do it. So we'll see. It looks like it's. I don't know. I feel like some of the guy eliminations be a little off-putting, but I guess it depends on who's in it. So, but so far I think it's a good season. I'm really living for Jimmy right now. This is the Jimmy that I missed. We need a political mastermind like this on our screens. Who know how to play the game, who gives good confessionals. So we'll see where things go, and catch up next week for episode 5.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for tuning in again this week. Please like and subscribe. Comment below your thoughts or feelings on episode 4, and we'll see you next week on Saturday. See you later.